1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can somebody please tell me what the is going on? Yes, yes, yes. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi. Can somebody please tell me? And that was the sound check that lets me know that you can hear me clear as a bell. Clear as a bell. Okay. So, for anybody who has not joined before, you are in tune to Boxing Talk with Rafi episode. Where are we? Episode 81. We're 81 deep on the Boxing Talk with Rafi series. Of course, we have the weekend series that we did for a while. Occasionally we do, sometimes still. And of course, we have the fight series, the fight companion. All of those added up together comes up to around 130, 131, 32 live shows we've done since the inception of this thing in February 9, 2019. Tripping up over my words. February 2019, that's when the thing started. End of February. Live shows started, I think, around 3 or 4 months later. Where does that take us? June till now. What's that? Yeah, about 6 months we've been doing the lives. 6 months we've been doing the live shows, and not going to mess around today. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So I think what I'm going to do to allow the area to populate is go to a short recent video. We're going to play that. That's the video warming. Allow the area to populate. So let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Boom. Okay. And let me kill the music. Let me kill. What the hell's going on? Let me kill the music. Let me get this down out of the way. Boom. And start. There we go. Let's go. And today we're looking at a poll. We're looking at a poll conducted by Lennox Lewis in a tweet, and the results are rather interesting. Okay, so Lennox Lewis posed the question, or posed the statement: Wilder Fury is set for February 22nd in Las Vegas. I think most of us know that by now. Go check my previous videos. Okay, and the poll question was, how do you see it going? And the results were very, very interesting. Okay, so 2.7% of responders said they expected Wilder to win by decision. 25.4% of responders said that they expected Wilder to win via KO. Now, interestingly, 60% of responders expected Fury to win by decision, and 11.4% of responders had Fury winning via KO. Now, the mathematical adept amongst you will have noted that despite Deontay Wilder being the WBC world champion, total figures for winning only come up to, what's that, 27, 28%, 28 point whatever, say 28.5%. Only 28.5% of people expect Deontay Wilder to win it. Only 25% of responders, to be more precise. Whereas, so that's 60, 71, 71.9. 71.9, almost 72% of responders have Tyson Fury winning via decision. 71, just shy of 72%, call it 72%, have Tyson Fury winning by decision. Now, that is quite shocking. That's quite shocking to think that the WBC champion is only being given 25% of victory, 25% chance of victory. That seems crazy to me. Utterly crazy. You'd have thought that he would have been given more of a chance. But perhaps the Ortiz 2 fight didn't help. When we saw him basically not doing nothing for the bulk of the fight. Basically looking very, very basic. But I think it's going to be an inactive. I think it's going to be a way more active Deontay Wilder for the Tyson Fury rematch. Winner. Hopefully, I want the fight to win by knockout. And the winner proceed to Anthony Joshua. It's been suggested that the winner should face Dillian White. Well, really, that makes sense. But neither party is going to want that. Neither Wilder or Fury is going to want that. They're going to want to go straight to the king. But really, they should go to the more deserving fighter. Where I say, winner faces Joshua for undisputed, and loser faces Dillian White. That's what I say. What say you? It's the Combat Radio. It's the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. It's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comment, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. What say you? How do you say? It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio, and it's the Tyson Fury. 70% of responders to the Lennox Lewis poll had Tyson Fury winning that rematch with Deontay Wilder. What say you? Have your say. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio, and I'm out. Okay, so let's stop sharing this. I just pressed the button. Everything disappeared off my screen. Okay, let's get the music back. Let's get the music back. Okay, awesome. Awesome. Okay, where are we? We're getting the proper. Okay, there we are. There we are. Okay, so Boxing Talk with Rafi, 81. Let's get some FaceTime going. Let me put the link in the chat for anybody who wants to, for anybody who's going to jump on at some point. This is very funny. This is very funny. Okay, so before we get into the topics, what are the topics today? Okay, so no, that's not it. That's it. So what we got? Let's have a look to see if, okay. So once again, StreamYards does not disappoint. Once again, the description box is empty. After I took my time to fill it in. But you know, we're so used to this glitch in StreamYards. Maybe I should write to them. Copy. I'm so used to this glitch with StreamYards that now I just copy all the details that I need, that I already put in there, and I simply copy and paste them back in. If you look in the description box right now, if you're watching live, you will see that it is empty. Once you press go live, it seems StreamYard seems to empty the damn description box, and that's not good because it doesn't help with the search algorithms. What I do is I just copy and paste it elsewhere now. When I come to the live show, if it disappears, I just put it back in. And so, where are we? Yeah, boom. Boom, boom, boom. The description box is now filled. Okay, let's talk about what's on the menu. Let's talk about what's on the menu for tonight. Okay, we're looking at, again, later on, we're going to be looking at the Tank versus what? Gamboa, and Badu Jack versus Pascal. And we are asking a question about Crawford and Porter later on. One of the first topics is going to be, Wilder versus Fury 2. We're going to look at that, analyze that, dissect that, look at the words of some of the players, some of the big players, and arrive at some of our own conclusions. Okay, now, where are we? Let's get over here. But first of all, okay, anybody who wants to jump on, link is in the chat. But first of all, we're just going to get a little bit, take a few minutes to be philosophical. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take a few minutes as we warm in to get philosophical. I'm going to talk about this journey. It's the end of 2019. It's the end of 2019. And what time to get philosophical? What better time to get philosophical than the end of the year? It's a good time to just sit back, reminisce, philosophize. Something which I like to do. Yes, yes, yes. SSB up in the building. Okay, so, yeah, man. I'm going to philosophize for a few minutes. And just take time. Each and every one of us take time of look at what we've achieved this year. You know, look at what we've achieved this year. This year, it's been a very interesting one for me. Matter of fact, let's go one better. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull up some comments. Let's go pull up some comments. I've had some interesting comments, amused me. I've been highly amused by some comments that I've seen around. There's one very interesting one of the more recent ones, which I will take the opportunity while the area populates, take the opportunity to address. Where are we? Okay. So, yep, they're there. They are there. They're there. Where are we? Let's go back. Why is the damn thing not refreshing? Why is my Enter again. I disappeared and now I'm back. Big up to you, SSB. Happy holidays and the new year about to come. Red Gloved Militant up in the building. Big up to you, my friend. Big up to you, my friends. Ain't watching, but only 4 likes. Come with it, guys. Come on, must do better. If you're watching, you know you love it. Okay. So I'm going to reminisce for a couple of seconds before we head on into the topics. Interesting year. Let me check my angle. Okay, angle looks good. Okay, I want to address a few comments that I've seen elsewhere on my journeys, on my travels through this boxing community that we have. Sometimes functional, sometimes dysfunctional, but always to me, interesting in one way or another, oftentimes highly amusing. I am amused. Okay, where was that comment I want to address? Where is that comment that I want to address? Oh, that's not it. That's not it. Come on. It's got to be a better one. So there's a video from another channel. There's a video from another channel that I frequent from time to time. So your collaborations with True School Sports. Yeah, man, True School Sports was up in the up in the country. True School Sports, my American brethren, was over in the UK. And, we linked up. I said, yo, when you get over here, we got to link up, do a collaboration. And we did, man. He's got 2 parts of the interview over on his channel. I think the second one's getting released in the new year, and I've got 1 part to release on this channel. So it was a wicked good collaboration. Yes, indeed. And Boxing Jedi is up in the building. Hope you had a happy Christmas season. Happy Christmas season. Welcome back, Ralph. I was afraid you were lost in the dark void. Damn. Dark voids, asteroids. I think we've had it all this year. I'm not sure StreamYard is the most stable of platforms. I'm not sure. Because there have been a couple of examples when, I've been out there in the void. And I've had to find my way back. So I'm not sure this StreamYard thing, I'm not sure it's the one I'm going to stick with, but you know what they say? You know what the old time people say? They say half a loaf is better than none. I used to try and reject that when I was a youngster, but as you get older and wiser, sometimes half a loaf truly is better than none. And I think StreamYard is that half a loaf. StreamYard might be that half a loaf, so I'm just surviving and dealing with it. Just surviving and dealing with it. There's worse things in the world. Okay, so where are we? Cristiano Wu. Jack versus Pascal was a great fight. Love to see a rematch. Now that I think about it, Pascal matches tend to be very entertaining. I do concur. Okay. Yes. So let me get into the thing. As the place is populating and warming up, we're gonna do a little bit of reminiscing before we get fully into the boxing. And where are we? There's a comment I wanted to address, as I traverse this YouTube boxing community universe. I drop a comment here I drop a comment there, you know, to spread the love. Spread the love. Spread the love. I'll tell you what, the drums, it put me in the mood. Can't say I'm tired. It's been the holiday season over here. Just work one day there, here, one day there. You know, it's going to fully crunk up back in the next few days. But I must say, I have enjoyed my leisure time over the last week or so. Highly enjoyable. But let's get to this comment I've been alluding to. Where is it? Okay. So a fella left a comment. And he said this particular guy gives him a headache. You know the little chihuahua? You know what I'm talking about, the little chihuahua. Said the little chihuahua gives him a headache. Repeats himself for hours. Who can sit through that? And I responded, certainly not me. You know the little chihuahua is. And then a fella by the name of Pimp Smack, I invited him over here so he may be among us. Pimp Smack commented at Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. You used to go and get destroyed by him until he hurt your feelings. Where am I? Let me show some face. Let's get some face. Yardman up in the building. Yeah, let me show some face. For anybody who wants the link, you know it's in the chat. It's right up there. I'll put it in again. Oh, no, that's not the link. That's not the link. Where is it? Let's find this link. Boom, boom, boom. Boom. Okay, so as I was saying, yeah, so Pimp Smack, I invited him over. Pimp Smack is probably amongst us right now. Pimp Smack, enjoy the show. If you want to jump on. It's all good. Yeah, you used to go over and get destroyed by him until he hurt your feelings. And my response to Pimp Smack is, lol, the videos of our encounters are on my channel, and I strongly suggests otherwise. It hurt his feelings so much so he took away my wrench. Oh, we got some more information now. I'm going down. I'm scrolling down. Earn with Hearn. Comments at Pimp Smack. Look at Mr. Shelton. It makes sense because Pimp Smack, yeah, it's a new name. It's a new account. So he says he outs Pimp Smack and says, look at Mr. Shelton coming back over here on stealth mode. Damn, I better give that a thumbs up. Oh, man. Coming back over here on stealth mode. The Chihuahua mutes people and takes their wrenches, so they will be blocked when he can claim a victory in front of low IQ people like Pimp Smack, aka Mr. Shelton. Oh, these clowns believe that rigged shizzle outside the cult. Believe that rigged shizzle outside of the cult. You guys are the joke of the YouTube boxing community. And Pimp Smack comes back and says, Pimp Smack comes back and says, what? Who is Mr. Shelton? I have no clue who that is. You damn well know who it is. And Mr. Pimp Smack goes on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What? 6 more comments unresponded to. Mr. Shelton, if you are present, please feel free to jump in. Feel free to come on in. Feel free to come on in. Too many times we get these people with loud barks. We offer them the opportunity. You offer them the opportunity to come and chop it up, and they ain't got shizzle to say. It's crying shame. So, Mr. Pimp Smack or Mr. Shelton or whoever the you might be, feel free to jump on in, bro. Feel free to jump on in. Okay, more philosophizing. Gonna do a little bit more. Hold on. What's this? What's this? Bob Arum is confident Pulev will remove Anthony Josh. Yeah, that's one. I've got the article. I've got the article pulled up. That same article you're referring to. I've got that pulled up. We're gonna touch on that, no doubt. We're gonna touch on that, no doubt. Okay, now a little bit more philosophizing before we get stuck into the hot topics. A little bit more philosophizing. We're in dark mode. Excuse me. We're in dark mode. Okay. Dark mode, but not dark mood. Always upbeat. Upbeat, you get it? Music, upbeat. Yeah, always upbeat. Okay, so it's the end of the year. It's the end of 2019. Almost. What's the date? It's the 30th. Got another day to go. It's 30th over here in the UK. Got another day to go. Okay, so yeah, you have to just take a moment. You have to take a moment to sit back and reminisce about this thing. Some of the things I've learned during the course of this journey, starting this new adventure, starting the channel early this year, something I've been meaning to do for some time. And yeah, been fascinating. It's been fascinating for me. Let's adjust the mic. It's been fascinating for me. Learned so much. So some of the things I have learned. We've had people come over, want to cause ructions, want to impose their will on somebody else's thing, you know. And at the time, I thought to myself, whoa, this is crazy. And then after a while, you realize it's just pure and utter nonsense. Pure and utter nonsense. You know, a secure man, he will focus on his own shizzle, get his own house in order. That'll be his focus. But, you know, you have some wastrels, some miscreants, some vagabonds of the YouTube community who love to, I found out afterwards, love to go around stirring the pot, agitators, going to a next man's thing, trying to tell a next man how he's supposed to do his thing. Well, listen here, looky here. What I found is that, what I know is that I do my thing my way. I do my thing my way, the way I want to do it. You know, I cook with the ingredients that I want to use. I do it how I want to do it for the outcome that I wish to achieve. And basically, what's the program? The program is to come up with a program that I enjoy and like-minded spirits will also enjoy. Where I don't cut to fit. I don't cut it to fit. I just do the damn thing. It's like playing music. To me, it's like playing music. I don't want to copy a next man's style. I create my own style. I don't go around looking to see what I can do or what I can pilfer from the next man. I just do what instinctively feels right. Yeah. Whereas, the next man, an agitator, a miscreant, a wastrel, a vagabond, he may be more inclined to try and copy, take a little piece from here, take a little piece from there. But this, I'm very proud to say, at the end of 2019 is an expression of my vision. And that doesn't include trying to be like John Tom, Mr. X, Mr. TBA. No. All them cats have their own thing, and they do their own thing their way. I am purely interested in doing my thing my way. And so what I've learned is that, you just stay on your own path. Follow your own vision. The next man's vision, the next man can go and do his thing. Next man can go and do his thing. Wherever he wants to go and do his thing, he can go and do his thing. But for those of you who've been tuned in for a while, you know what I'm talking about. People trying to come over here, trying to rearrange shizzle. Trying to tell Rafi how he's supposed to do his shizzle. No. I just do things my way and let the kindred spirits enjoy, come and share the experience. Okay, where are we now? Yeah, and so that's one thing I've learned, to laugh at those who like to go around and agitate, make up stories, and then say, oh, it was a mistake, I misunderstood. And then try to cast judgment on the next man doing his thing. You have got to be having a laugh. You have brought me much mirth in 2019. You and your kind, you make me laugh. It's funny. It's hilarious to me. And so one of the things I've learned is, you can't take everything seriously. Not that I take everything seriously, but it just reinforces my previous view. Many things that people will try to have you take seriously are not worth taking seriously. A lot of things are a joke. Running around, spreading false information, trying to make yourself look good and knowledgeable, like you're wise, when in reality, you're just a bumbling fool. You're just a bumbling fool with a good memory. And so in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, do what you do so long as you're not harming anybody, and don't be afraid to do it in your style. Don't be afraid to do things in your style. You don't need anybody else's approval to do your thing the way you want to do it, how you want to do it, when you want to do it. As long as you're not hurting anybody, it's all good. Follow your vision. That's the Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio message. Ending 2019, going to 2020. Follow your vision. All the way, mate. All the way. That's the message. That's the Rafi's message. Follow your vision. I must say, I'm having a lot of fun doing that. Yes, it's a lot of work. I've heard people complain there's too much work, but I don't care. You just adjust the amount you put in. You can put an hour in per day following your vision, whatever the vision is. So be it. Put the hour in per day. If you can put in 2, put in 2. 3, it's 3. Whatever it is. If it's half an hour, it's half an hour. Whatever it is. Whatever you can give to your vision, I recommend you do so. Follow your vision. That's the message. And laugh at folly. Follow your vision and laugh at folly. I should write that down so I can repeat it at the end of the show. Follow your vision and laugh at folly. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, where are we? That is the message. What the hell is going on? Okay. Yeah, I'm up to date. Yeah, we're there. Okay. Right. So let's get into the boxing. Let's get into the boxing right now, right about now. Okay. Which window? What's the first story we're gonna go with? What is the first story we're gonna go with? Okay, so let's start off with let me share anyway. First things first. Let's share the screen. Boom, boom, boom. What's the story? Boom. Where is the pertinent story? Okay, so there it is. There it is. Okay, so judging the judges. That's the title of the piece. Judging the judges, Pascal versus Jack. Badu Jack. Scorecard analysis. Okay, so Atlanta. Any judge assigned to work a title fight involving Badu Jack knows to prepare for the long haul, and their scorecards to be called into question the moment it is announced. As much was the case in Jack's disheartening split decision defeat to Jean Pascal in their secondary light heavyweight title fight this past Saturday at the State Farm Arena. Though there exists the argument that all three judges actually got it right in the end. Canada's Pascal, 35-6-1, 20 KOs, prevailed by matching scores of 114-112 on the cards of Judge Barry Lindemann and Nelson Vasquez, while second-generation judge Julie Lederman. What? So we got Barry Lindemann. Oh, it's a different person. And Julie Lederman turned in a 114 112 tally in favor of Badu Jack. So what's the scores there? That's 2 rounds in it. 2 rounds in it. Or 1 knockdown round. 114, 112. 114, 112 in favor of Jack. Both boxers scored knockdowns in the thrilling Showtime televised event, with Jack hitting the deck in round 4 and Pascal going down in the 12th and final round. Okay. Both rounds were accurately scored 10-8 across the board. Let's scroll down and try to get to the pertinent points. Okay, so basically, the article talks about how difficult it is to score a Badu Jack fight. My assessment is it was very tight. It was a very tight fight. A lot of the rounds were tight also. A lot of people are arguing, saying that no, Badu Jack got robbed. But I honestly can't see the robbery. I can't see the robbery, as is often the case with Badu Jack. He does just enough. He does just enough, but to me, Pascal was just outpointing him. You know, Badu Jack would do a 3-punch combination, and Pascal would do a 4-punch or a 5-punch combination. And then there's been talk that Pascal may have had some extra supplementation. Why? Has he failed a drug test before? PED test? I don't think so. I don't have any knowledge of Pascal losing or failing a PED test. I have no knowledge of that. I ain't seen that. So it leads me to conclude that the reason the people suspect the following or the aforementioned is because of Pascal's shape. Because Pascal, you know, he's got more of a mesomorph shape. He's more muscular. Pascal on the left, more muscular than Jack on the right. But once again, I will say that you can't look at an individual's muscularity to decide whether there might be assisted PED. There might be some PED involvement. It's just different body types. Sometimes it's just a matter of different body types. So you have one man who will be more muscular than the other, not even so much down to the training, but more so down to his stoma type or his genetic predisposition. Some people have a genetic predisposition towards forming muscle. Yeah? Mesomorph stoma type. And some people like Jack are much smoother. So you can have 2 different people who look 2 totally different ways. 2 totally different ways. And in comes Phil Walker. How you doing, Phil? Oh, Phil Walker's gone. Damn. Phil will be back, I'm sure. Ped in the building. How you doing, Ped? What's up? Hope you had a good Christmas. Fury will be winning the rematch, or we're going to be chopping that up very, very shortly. We're chopping that very, very shortly, but in conclusion, where is the Badu Jack thing? There is the Badu Jack thing. Yeah, in conclusion to the Badu Jack. Where are you, Badu? Where are you? There you are. In conclusion to the Badu Jack v. Pascal, I find I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem with the verdict. Of course, the verdict, for those who don't know, is that Pascal emerged the victor. 114 112 on 2 cards. Split decision, 114, 112 on the other judge's card. Okay. And so in comes a man like Phil Walker. Phil Walker, how are you doing, sir?
Man, how you doing, brother? Been a minute. Been a minute.
Yeah, man, it's been a minute, man. It's been a minute, but you know, I guess it's the workload. It's the workload fitting the shows in, and I guess you got a workload over there in Texas too.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, during the holiday season, man, you know, the workload increases for everybody, you know.
Yeah,
So absolutely, man. But I'm back though, man. It's about to be
yeah.
a new year, and we got some good boxing that finished the year up real nicely. And
Did you
I can't
see
wait till 2020.
100%, 100%? Did you see the? I'm sure you saw the Badu Jack Pascal fight.
Oh man, come on. Absolutely. Great fight. Absolute Um, absolutely amazing fight. Both
Yeah,
those guys gave 110%, man, and you can't ask for more for a co-main event. I think those guys' fight was much better than the main event, if you ask me personally.
yeah, yeah. Who did you have winning the Pascal versus Badu Jack? Who did you have winning that fight?
I had Pascal winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had Pascal winning. You know, the good thing, you know, I tell people a lot of times when you go in and you watch a fight, and you know you like both fighters, and you know you don't want to pick a winner before it. You know, you want to say, hey, I think this guy's going to win. I think this guy's going to win. You know, typically people go with the guy that they like. In
Yeah.
this case, man, you know, I like Pascal. You know, I think he's had a raw deal as well as Badu Jack. So,
Mm.
you know, either way, you know, I would have been happy for either one of those guys. If either one of them would have won, I think it was a close fight, and I
Mm.
think it could have went either way. But I had Pascal winning. So, I mean,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, um, it, you know, doesn't matter what I think. It matters what the judges think.
Yeah.
Just so happened that me and the judges both had it for Pascal this time.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Pascal had done enough. I don't really see much of a controversy. Yeah, it was close. Yeah, it was close, but it was that close. I wouldn't really have too much of a problem even if Badu Jack had won. But personally, I thought that Pascal was outscoring him more of the time, you know. And so he emerged, in my view, the rightful victory. Yes, we're joined by J. Von Burgess post Christmas. Good to have you all in here. Let's do a quick roll call. Yeah, Javon Burgess, the Ped, the Cristiano Wu, Yard Man, the Red Gloved Militant, the Boxing Jedi. Who else we got? The SSB 28. And of course, Phil Walker on the line. Link in the description box for anybody who wants to jump in, but we are moving. Keeping this thing moving. Okay, so heading over to the main event of that card. Let me share the screen. Screen share. Boom, 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 boom. That's not the one. Afterthoughts. Afterthoughts. Okay. So, how long is this article? Nah, it's too long. I just like the key paragraph. The key paragraph, if I can detect one. Yeah, I think I've seen one. Right. The future for Davis. Okay, the future for Davis. ESPN Dan Raphael reported Gamboa's self-diagnosed injury of an Achilles heel rupture was correct, and it casts an X shadow on the performance of Gervonta Tank Davis on Saturday night. Against a one-legged man, Davis seemed Davis seemed, after the first few rounds, to occasionally be winded, unfocused, and almost bored in the ring, says the article. Davis was in there with a fighter who was run out of the ring by Robinson Castellanos and lucky to get by Jason Sosa. And the younger man fought like he knew he'd get Gamboa out of there eventually. There was rarely any sense of urgency about it. No sense of urgency from Davis. What do you think about Davis's performance? Tank Davis's performance, Phil Walker.
Man, let me tell you, Tank Davis is becoming one of the biggest disappointments in boxing outside of Adrian Broner. I'm gonna be quite frank with you. As talented as he is, he owes himself more, and he owes the sport more. I just don't see how a lot of these guys are born with gifted talent. Okay, talent that's gifted to them, it's stuff that you can't teach, and they waste it away on doing other things besides practicing, sharpening their craft. For me, at the end of the day, Davis clearly out of shape for the fight, 110%.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's just be honest about it. Does his power carry up to 135? I mean, let's be real.
Yeah.
Gamboa hit the canvas 3 or 4 times, something like that. But I honestly think he was able to shake off each time he got hurt.
Yep.
So with that being said, if you're gonna come into 135, new division for you, first thing you need to do is take this very serious, because first of all, it's your career. You're a prize fighter. So at the end of the day, Tank Davis right now to me is looking like the worst out of the best guys, and that's just not good for a fighter who considers himself the best in the world in his respective weight class and his respective weight class before he made the move.
Tank Davis, I think his performance, I think most would agree, was underwhelming. Most expected.
And must I add, I'm sorry to cut you off, Ralph.
That's all right.
I just want to add that Tank Davis is a way better fighter than what he displayed. And I just want everybody to understand that, know that. But you'll never get your max amount of potential out if you do not put the work in.
Tank Davis has moved up now. And there is a legitimate question: how well has his punch carried over? Has his punch power? How well has the punch power carried over up to 135? And we can't really. That's yet to be determined. This is a new weight division, and even though his performance was, I think most will agree, underwhelming. I think we're gonna have to give him time to settle into the division, but he's saying he's the best at the division. So if you're the best at the division, then the time is now. You know what I'm saying? If you're the best in the division, then the time is now. Phil Walker.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Ralph. If you say, because what he said was, he said, I'm the top dog. Okay. Hey, look, man, if that's the way you feel, then you're sadly mistaken, man, based off that performance. And I'm not saying that you don't have the potential to be the top dog, right? But potential is only potential until hard work is applied, right? So I agree with you, brother. No, 100%.
Yeah. Tank, he's talking a good one. He's definitely talking a good one, but now's the time to deliver. Now is the time to deliver. Tank was running low on Saturday night. He certainly was. Trash. Never seen him in here before. Asked the question, which is totally off topic, but it's okay. Who is the fighter of the decade? I'm not even going to touch that one. I'm not going to touch that one because that would take me some time to really sit down and study. I mean, I could come up with something off the top of my head, but I wouldn't want to do that. Where are we now? For the 30th. Yeah, we can touch that one. Probably touch that one on Wednesday. That will be one for the topic sheet on Wednesday, where we'll do a little 15-minute, 20-minute breakdown of the fighter of the decade. Of course, viewers, watchers, listeners, you can jump in as well on that one on Wednesday or whenever. Cristiano Wu says Pacquiao has done enough to be fighter of the decade. Yeah, he's definitely in the running. If Pacquiao's in the running, then you'd have to say Mayweather's in the running. So I'd have to sit down and really do a breakdown of their performances, plural, over the last 10 years. Or is it from 2010 till 2020 or 2019? Yeah, I'd have to sit down and give that some serious consideration. Yeah, okay. So chop that up. And now we move to the next. Trash. Is Crawford ducking Porter? Well, that's a topic in and of itself. Let me just go through my topic sheet. Oh, before we get to that, I will get to that. But before we get to that, we got to get to this. Before we got to get to this. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Boom.
Hey, Ralph, I'm gonna step over for about 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, man, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah,
right.
Man. Okay, so Gervonta Davis says, of course, Loma would fight me. I'm the cash cow. Very funny fella. Okay, Gervonta Davis, who's just turned in a lackluster performance versus Gamboa by winning the WBA. What does he say? Gervonta Davis should have made an important move on Saturday night towards securing one of the most anticipated showdowns in boxing. By winning the WBA's world lightweight title, Davis should have become the mandatory challenger for that sanctioning organization's super lightweight champion, Vasily Lomachenko. Baltimore's Davis already was the WBA's #1 challenger for Lomachenko's championship, one spot ahead of second-ranked Gamboa, whom Davis stopped in the 12th round at the State Farm Arena. Ideally, the WBA would mandate Lomachenko Davis and force their promoters, Bob Arum, Lomachenko, and Floyd Mayweather for Davis to either make that fight or force one or both of them to give up their lightweight titles. Mayweather wasn't eager to match the younger, developing Davis against Lomachenko when Davis owned the 130-pound titles. Even if Mayweather felt Davis was ready for Lomachenko back then, making that fight would have been difficult due to their rival promotional and network affiliations. Regardless, Davis believes Lomachenko would face him because it would be a more meaningful, profitable fight now than ever before. Okay. Well, let me step right in there. Davis goes on to say that he is the cash cow. Okay. Let me give my breakdown, share my thoughts on that. Okay, so this fight would be Top Rank versus PBC. Pretty much PBC, Mayweather, pretty much in there with the PBC in that mix. Okay, so one thing we know with the PBC cards, one thing we know is that they're tied in, pretty much tied in with Showtime and Fox. Pretty much tied in with Showtime and Fox. What we've seen with Top Rank, with Vasyl Lomachenko, is that they will go where the money is. We saw Vasyl Lomachenko come over to the UK. Come over to the UK just this year. And was happy to fight over in the O2 Arena, London. Okay, so they will cross the street, but we have reluctance. We've seen it time and time again. It's not it's not speculation, it's just fact that these PBC guys, they're not too good at crossing the street. They didn't really learn the Green Cross Code. You know, when a kid's in school, he has to learn the Green Cross Code, how to cross the street properly. We've seen it time and time again, the PBC guys, the likes of Errol Spence, that says he doesn't know how to cross the road. The likes of Deontay Wilder, claims he doesn't know how to cross the road. It's very, very difficult for those guys to cross the road. And if you do cross the road onto their territory, very seldom are they the cash cow. Very seldom are they the cash cow. So Gervonta Davis saying that he is the cash cow in a fight with Lomachenko. I really don't know. I really don't know. Would that be PPV? Would that be PPV? Would that be PPV? Phil Walker, are you back? Okay, no. Okay, so, yeah, that's some highly ambitious talk from Gervonta Davis, but I would beg to differ. I don't know how Tank Davis reckons he's the cash cow. Trash said it. How is he the cash cow when he's never been on PPV? It's a damn good question. Cattle get sent to the slaughterhouse. Trash says Tank has fought nobodies, but now he's the cash cow. Now all of a sudden, Tank is the cash cow. Tank ain't no kind of cash cow. Well, you know, we have to face facts. When it comes to Tank, I get it now. Tank, yeah. When it comes to Tank, I fully see Tank as being obese when he retires. I just have this vision of Tank being obese when he retires. Phil Walker, if you're around, jump in when you're ready. He's just clearly, his eating clearly is not right. Yeah, it just ain't right. His eating ain't right. I mean, for goodness sakes, the man is earning a few shillings now. You can't tell me he can't afford a nutritionist. And as a matter of fact, okay, say you're really tight. Let's say the Tank is really super tight when it comes to his Monet. Let's say super tight. There's food companies out there now. There's food companies out there now who pack your meals, who send your meals in a box. You know, it comes in pre-packed, tells you how many calories, how much protein you got in there. How many calories, how much protein, how many carbs, how many fats you got in there. You get the box, you throw it in the freezer. Need a big freezer, you got a week's worth. You got a week's supply of food now. Out to the freezer, boom, into the oven or the microwave. You know, so you might not even need to spend money. Mind you, them things cost more than if you If your mom's cooking for you or your girl's cooking for you, or better still, if you know how to cook for yourself, yeah, then those options are more expensive. But still, there are so many ways to make sure you're eating right. And you're supposed to be some kind of world champion in your field. You're supposed to be the preeminent operator in your field. And it's so clear that you are not eating right, just not eating right. Or is it the case that you're not eating right and you're not going into the gym in between fights? If you're not living the life, then what kind of, the output depends on the input. If you're not putting in the right things, if you're not putting in the work in between fights, if you're not putting in the right fuel in between fights, then what do you think's going to happen? I fully expect Tank Davis to end up being a tank when he retires. And that's unfortunate because that ain't healthy. That is not healthy. So I wish Tank would just get his act together. I wish Tank would get his act together. Davis already slurred. I haven't really listened. You know, it's been such a busy weekend for me. I haven't really listened to any of the much of the interviews or anything. I hope he's not slurring. That's not good. Damn. Pet says it's true. Damn. That ain't good. That ain't good. I hope he just had an off day. I hope he's just having an off day. You got to be living the life. Tank Davis will be the same weight as Broner's father. Yeah, man, it's sad. I don't like it. Who's that trainer? Who's the trainer now? I can see his face. Who's Kovalev's trainer? What's his name? Buddy McGirt. Damn. Keep on seeing faces and the names are escaping me. Buddy McGirt. Look how Buddy McGirt has blown up. You know, I think that kind of thing's sad to me. I hate to see these guys who were in peak fitness just a few years ago. And then now you look at them and they're just a blob. It's not healthy. It is not healthy. Not mocking the guy, but, you know, blowing up to those obese levels. You can't tell me that's healthy. That ain't good for a man or woman. It's just not healthy. What is that? I can see if Gervonta Davis didn't take this fight as serious as he should have. But you bet Gervonta will be running on diesel fuel against Lomachenko. Gervonta Davis versus Lomachenko. To me, I don't know. How is that any different from Spence saying that Crawford's on the other side of the street? I think that's where it's going to come down to. If it came down to the crunch, Tank Davis is talking about how he wants Lomachenko. I don't know, man. I hope I'm wrong, but I think when it comes down to the crunch, Tank is going to come out with some, yeah, but he's on the other side of the street. I don't know how he talks. I haven't really listened to him that much. He's on the other side of the street, man. I hope he doesn't do that. But Tank coming in like a tank, like a Sherman tank, all heavy and stuff. Getting all heavy and stuff in between fights. You can't tell me that's optimal preparation. You can't tell me that's optimal preparation. You can't tell me blowing up in between fights is optimal. He needs to have a diet that works for him, that keeps him in a healthy range in the off season, in between fights, not blowing up like a pregnant lady. That does not in any way signify optimization. No, it's not optimization. No way, no how. No way, no how. Yeah. Yeah, no way, no how. It's just not optimal. Phil Walker back with us.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Tank Davis blowing up in between fight. Tank Davis saying he wants Lomachenko. Tank Davis saying that he's gonna be the cash cow for Lomachenko.
Well, let me tell you this right here. Okay, let's be honest, right? Davis, right now he's committing highway robbery, right? Because
Yeah.
he's making these very, very good purses. Okay.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I mean, essentially his biggest downfall is everybody's talking about his resume. So he's making these big purchases, but he doesn't have the opposition to back it up. Now,
Mm.
what I will say is this right here. If he does get a opponent such as a Lomachenko, I
Yeah.
think both of them could see, optimum paydays. Um, but with that being said, I guess in a sense, in essence, yeah, he is the cash cow of his division because at the moment he's making the biggest purses.
Okay.
But just because you're making the biggest purses doesn't make you the best fighter. At the end of the day, that's irrelevant to him actually making the fight with Lomachenko. See, what
Mm.
that does is just create a different talking point to distract people away from what matters, and that's you're out of shape right now. Okay,
Mm.
Lomachenko always stays in the fight, Jake.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you step into his ring, because he really is the guy in that division. If you step into his ring with that kind of endurance and lack of dedication, you liable to get stopped,
Yeah.
man. And let's just be honest about it. I don't know if he gets stopped, but he gets beat up pretty bad.
Yeah. 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 Well, when you're getting beat up pretty bad and your conditioning isn't where it needs to be, sometimes you drop.
Yeah, your punch resistance drastically, drastically decreases when you're not in shape. I try to tell guys this right here. Punch resistance comes from, um, of course, having a decent chin, right? But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, if your legs is what's going to be able to hold you up in that rough patch when somebody may catch you with a real bad shot. I mean,
Yeah.
just look at the shot that Sean Porter took against Earl Spence. Sean
Hmm.
Porter was able to stand because his body was built to stand in those dire times. When
Yeah.
you're not safe, that's when you fall. That's when you drop. I
Hmm.
agree with you, Ralphie. That will
Yeah.
become a factor.
Yeah. Yeah. One hundo. One hundo. And Justin, the very persistent Justin, is back. How are you, Justin?
Good.
What'd you get for Christmas?
Uh, monitor.
Excuse me?
A monitor.
A monitor.
A monitor.
Okay. Okay. I got you. Okay, Justin. How are you? How was your Christmas?
Good. The monitor with the PS4. I can. Hold on. I'm not gonna show my face, but
Yeah. Okay. That's good. That's good. What kind of size is that?
I don't know. I
I
never
know, but it's a
measured
good
it,
size.
but
It's a good size. It's a good size. Okay. So
it's
so
it's like yeah, it is.
yeah, so we're talking about Javante Davis. Um Javante Davis, will he fight Lomachenko, or is it going to be a similar thing with the Errol Spence situation? Eric Spence.
Well,
Crawford.
you know what I think is gonna happen. So Leonard Elby and Gervonta Davis's promoters, they were expecting. Gamboa is a tough guy and all. He's no bum, but he's 38, and they were probably expecting a knockout in the first 4 rounds. But if it were Loma there that night, Davis would have probably lost, and I think his promoters are gonna take a step back maybe, and we'll see how he does next time he fights.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I think they're gonna go easy. They're gonna go easy. They're gonna cruise into that one rather than run into that one. That is my suspicion. Okay, so I'm gonna go around the panel.
And hey, Loma, he's trying to fight. He's trying to fight Teofimo Lopez. So
Yeah, they're talking about that one. They're talking about that one. That would be interesting. I'd like to see that. But we're gonna go around the panel, and we're gonna start off with. Then we're gonna start with you, Justin. Do you expect to see Tank Davis versus Lomachenko in 2020? In 2020?
No, I don't. They're waiting for Lomachenko to get a little bit older. I think Davis. I don't think Davis can beat him, but I think Davis has the mindset to beat him. But his promoters, they know what's up. Yeah, they'll hype him up, say 35-pound version of Mike Tyson, but they know that. They're gonna wait till Loma gets a little older.
Yeah, I can see that happening. So you say no, you're not expecting Lomachenko versus Davis in 21, primarily because of the Davis side, and they're waiting to age out Lomachenko. Phil Walker. Sorry, Phil Walker. What say you?
Look, man, let me tell you something. If this fight goes down in 2020, I mean, that'll be nothing short of a miracle in my eyes. Because look, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Look, Floyd Mayweather didn't get rich being stupid. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me tell you something. A lot of Floyd Mayweather's career in big paydays was based on fighting people at the proper times. Okay, let's be honest. And right now, he's the guy that's steering this ship in whatever direction Tank Davis is going in. Okay, that's the first thing. The second thing is this right here. Lomachenko absolutely 110% wants to fight. They asked him about Teofimo. He says, "What are you?" They say, "What are your plans?" He said, "Hey, Teofimo, you know what? He has a belt in my division. I want to unify. He wants to fight. I'll fight him next. After I fight him, take his strap. Guess what? Tank Davis is probably gonna have the other strap. I'm coming for him. I want to finish the year off beating Tank Davis."
That's not going to happen, though.
And with that being said, we know Lomachenko wants to fight. Okay. With him saying that, I know I feel that he absolutely wants to become undisputed for all the right reasons. Okay. Tank Davis, on the other hand, does Tank Davis want to become undisputed? I'm sure he does. Does he has the discipline, the focus, all the things necessary to become undisputed? No, he doesn't. And guess what? His team knows that he doesn't. So does the fight happen in 2020? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah. I am of the opinion that because of Tank's ill discipline, outside of training camps, that reflects inside the training camps. You don't want a training camp to be a fat camp. And the way that Tank is looking in the pictures outside of training camp, it is not very inspirational. It does not say this is a man who is living the life. Don't say he's living the life. Lomachenko, on the other hand.
Hey, someone just said in the chat, Tank Davis versus the Problem Broner would be interesting. Adrian Broner's too big, man. Come on. Let's be real.
So, yeah, good observation. But as I was saying, Tank Davis does not look like a man who is living the life. And so I say, what do I say? I say, no. I say they don't want it. They don't want it. The Davis side don't want it because he ain't living the life. And if you're not living the life, you're not performing at your optimal capacity. So until Tank Davis can knuckle down and start to be consistent application outside of training camps, they're not going to want that fight. They're not going to want it with Loma. And I have to agree with the both Phil Walker and Justin. They don't want it. And I do believe They want to just see how Lomachenko goes. Just age him out a little bit. Age him out a little bit. I think that's the strategy. They don't want it with Loma. And for good reason. Tank Davis is the second coming of AB. Well, I hope not. I hope not. And it's good to have Kenny Porter up in the building.
That really Kenny Porter, or is that a troll? Well, not a troll.
Man, that's Kenny. No, that's Kenny. He's a regular over here. Kenny Porter's
like
a regular.
Actually Sean Porter's dad, bro?
Bro, he says his name's Kenny Porter, man. We got to give the man the benefit of the doubt. Coming over to Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio, bro. Got to give him the benefit of the doubt.
If you're really Kenny Porter, tell your son that I want to interview him, but that's a troll, most likely.
Yeah, but you know what, though? Let me tell you something. Let me just add to what you said, Ralph. You know, at the end of the day, everybody wants to, be Floyd Mayweather in the sense of have the success that he has, right? Within boxing. But at the end of the day, man, Floyd Mayweather lived boxing. Yeah. That's all he's ever lived his entire life. And these kids that's trying to mimic the game plan. Yeah. Exactly. They need to understand that, and Floyd needs to share that with these kids. There's no reason for Tank Davis, and maybe Floyd is telling Tank these things. Maybe he's just not taking to it, right? But at the end of the day, man, Tank really needs to take his career seriously. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm gonna point out that nobody's talking about. Mm-hmm. Cunningham didn't train Tank for this fight. Okay, Cunningham did not train Tank for this fight.
Oh.
He didn't.
Oh.
You know why? You know why Cunningham didn't train him? Because Cunningham don't take no BS, man. If you gonna train with Cunningham,
what about the Adrian Broner situation, though?
One second.
Yeah.
When you training with Cunningham, he's a no nonsense guy. Okay. What you're gonna do is you're gonna have everything ready for you. You're gonna wake up in the morning, you're gonna train. When you get done, you're gonna have your breakfast, you're gonna have your lunch. Everything is gonna be laid out for you because that's part of his job. He's gonna make sure you make weight. It's no time for nonsense when you in a training camp with Coach Cunningham. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do I think, in my opinion, okay, this is only my opinion specifically.
Yeah.
I think he cut ties with Cunningham because of the simple fact that Cunningham was not going to play the nonsense. Tank Davis just didn't want to live by that code that Cunningham has for his fighters. And that's being 110% dedicated inside of training camp as well as maintaining outside of training camp. Okay? So with that being said, a lot of people's not pointing that out. And I don't have anything against Tank's current trainer. What's his name? Can't think his name, man. The guy always got the earpiece on his ear all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything against him, but I mean, he needs to bite down and be honest with his fighter.
Yeah.
Always be honest with the fighter.
Yeah.
I know.
Justin, what are you saying? Come on in.
Nothing. I'm just raging at this video game I'm playing on my monitor, bro.
Okay. Well, So, what do we have here? Okay, so I think Tank will do better than AB. Davis looks more talented, in my opinion. Yes, this is the real Kenny Porter. Well, it's good to have you in here, Kenny. It's good to have you in here. Yeah, Tank needs to knuckle down. And someone drew an interesting parallel. Where was it? Oh, there it is. Cristiano Wu drew an interesting parallel with Andy Ruiz. Now, an interesting story about, we're going slightly out. Well, we finished that previous topic anyway, so we're not going off topic. This is a new one. An interesting story that I read. I had the story saved, and then I think I accidentally pressed the wrong button and lost it just prior to the show, but never mind. What's his name? Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter was in camp with Andy Ruiz, and he gives an interesting take. He gives an interesting perspective about the Andy Ruiz bloating up saga. It's very interesting because what Hunter said was that we had get that off the screen. Get that off the screen.
It's a video game, so you won't get copyrighted.
Don't matter. I don't take no risk, bro. So, yeah, Michael Hunter gave an interesting take on the Ruiz blowing up situation. He said Ruiz did indeed cut down. When you saw the pictures, they were real. That was Ruiz genuinely cut down. But, and now here's the interesting part. He said that they got to Saudi Arabia 3 weeks prior to the fight. And he said in those 3 weeks, because they weren't really paying attention to the diet now. They weren't paying attention to the diet. They were over in Saudi. There were new delicacies. There were new dishes to try, experiment with. He said that Andy Ruiz blew up in those 3 weeks. Now, what's interesting about that is that there have been all kinds of rumors, talking about how Andy made a deliberate choice in camp to blow up in weight. Made a deliberate choice to put weight on after cutting weight. Now, this Michael Hunter's perspective blows in the face of those hypotheses, of those stories, of those theories, of those suspicions. It seems that Andy Ruiz and team simply lost track of the diet once they got over to Saudi Arabia. Phil Walker.
Yeah, man, that's an interesting take. But I also heard through some sources myself that Andy did start trimming down.
Yeah.
But like I tell people, it's trimming down just because you're trying to trim down, and going and working out and eating properly and trimming down are two different things. See, when you trim down because you absolutely have to, like fighters who actually have to make weight do, it's easy for those. Think about it. Those guys are 147 pounds, and then when they're on fight night, they're nearly 155, close to 160 pounds. You can put that weight back on in no time. I think it was that, again, something similar to exactly what Michael Hunter said. That was, he trimmed down, and then he went to Saudi Arabia, and he didn't follow his diet. He didn't stay consistent. And guess what? You put that weight back on fast because you're losing it fast. You're losing it not necessarily the wrong way, but you're losing it in a way that it's easy to put the weight back on, and that's just not good. That's not healthy. And you lose a little bit of strength, and you also lose a little bit of stamina. And when you put that weight back on, it's never good. You never feel good when you put that weight back on in a manner in which you're just eating a bunch of junk.
Yeah. Justin, do you have anything to add? You have anything to add on this story?
What was the question?
The story is that Michael Hunter, who was training with Andy Ruiz Jr., said that Andy Ruiz did indeed cut weight in the training camp. However, he lost track. They went to Saudi Arabia 3 weeks prior to the fight, and Andy Ruiz lost track. The team lost track of his eating, of the diet. He came off diet and didn't realize what was happening, and next thing he knew, he'd blown up to the size of a baby.
Yeah, well, if you don't weigh on that's so stupid, because 3 weeks and you're let's say you're 260, and then you haven't weighed on the scales in 3 weeks until you realize you're 283. The excuses are just coming out. You were a fat hog and you didn't train. That's it.
Damn.
Quesadillas.
Damn. Taking no prisoners. Andy Ruiz is a fat hog. A fat hog, and he didn't train. Is that what you said? I think he trained, bro. I think he trained.
I mean, you know what I meant. You know what I meant. Like, he didn't really train as hard as he could have and stuff.
You know something, though? But here's the thing. Supposing he did train hard. Supposing he did train hard.
Best joke of the year.
Yeah, supposing, it's a hypothesis. So just hear out the hypothesis. Supposing he did train hard, but he was eating, especially over in Saudi, but he was eating even harder.
Well, like, he didn't realize he had blown up. That means he didn't weigh himself or nothing.
Yeah.
And he didn't see, like, when he pulled down his pants, he didn't see that his stomach, and he couldn't see his balls.
Uh-oh.
Come on
now.
His gut.
Come on now.
His fat gut, bro.
Yeah, let's just leave it. Let's just leave it as the fat gut, bro. Let's just leave it right there. A rematch. He
didn't win for 3 weeks. I don't believe it.
Yeah, didn't weigh himself for 3 weeks. Phil Walker. Andy Ruiz didn't weigh himself for 3 weeks.
Man, look, let me tell you something. Look, man. This is why it's so important to have the proper people in your camp. Okay? Let me tell you. And look, let's just be honest about this. You got a lot of professional athletes that, they will pay the money, okay, to make sure they have a nutritionist, to make sure that they have everything that they need to have in order to be successful. But that's the guys that are the great stuff. Okay? Yeah. So with that being said, it should have been no reason why Andy Ruiz, I blame not so much Andy Ruiz for that. I blame him for that, of course, because he overindulged in food. But his team, man, your team has to stay on top of you, man. That's why you got to put good people around you.
Yeah,
that was part of Mike Tyson's downfall. He didn't have the proper team around him. Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, Customato died.
Hell yeah.
He didn't have the proper team around him, and that was Mike Tyson's downfall. Somebody who could have been the greatest heavyweight to ever fight. But you gotta put the right people in place to keep you focused and help you maintain on the things that really matter. You have fun after you're said and done with your job and your career.
Yeah, it's a short career. It's not like you're gonna be in boxing till you're 65. You're not gonna be in the boxing ring till you're 65. It's a short career. If you have a 20-year career, okay, you start as an amateur. Let's say you start as an amateur and you're let's say 13. 13, you start as an amateur. By the age of 23, you're 10 years deep. By the age of 33, you're 20 years deep. You don't really want to be going too far past 33. You certainly don't want to be doing it in your late 30s or your 40s. So really and truly, you start at 13 as an amateur. 23, that's 10 years.
Hell, talk to Bernard Hopkins and he'll tell you otherwise.
Yeah, 33, that's 20 years. 38, that's 25 years. That's more than enough.
Well, for certain fighters, actually, I disagree. Well, for most people it is, but for certain fighters like Bernard Hopkins, they really shined when they were older.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have your exceptions to the rule, but I'm not really talking about the exception. I'm not talking about the exception to the rule. And I'm not talking about the exception to the rule. I'm really talking about the rule.
No, I agree with you. With you, Ralphie. Yeah.
Yeah. So, so I don't remember the original point. Sorry. It's a short career. It's a short career. So you're in the game for 20 years. That's plenty. You've gone from 13 to 33. That's 20 years. Boom. You should be looking to be finishing up now, moving on to the rest of your life. Give your brain cells, give your brain a chance to heal as much as it can. And you will be moving into the next phase of your life. And that's
Hold on. I might have.
Yeah. That's the
I
time.
might have to. So I was just gonna say I might have to head out soon because I don't know when I'm gonna do my interview with Buddy McGirt.
Okay. Well, let me know when you're heading out. Yeah.
What questions should I ask Buddy McGirt in the chat, you guys? Because I'm gonna do fan questions. So Buddy McGirt, the legendary boxing trainer,
Yeah.
what questions?
Well, you should have already got your list of questions when you're interviewing him.
I don't know. Today, I mean, I really can delay it because I really don't have a certain date for an interview because it's not like I'm doing it live yet. So he calls me yesterday. He said the interview, bro, and he said I'll be free tomorrow, and if not, it doesn't really matter. We could do it after tomorrow.
Okay, we'll hop off when you need to hop off. That's no problem. But we're moving on with the show. So, it's a short career. Do the damn thing. Dedicate yourself for 20 years, and then live the rest of your life not in the full knowledge that you applied yourself to the fullest, to the maximum. And anybody else got anything to add on that before we move on to the next topic?
Yeah. Just for anybody that's a young fighter, anybody that may listen to this video, hey, don't let it get later in your career when you realize this. Realize exactly what Ralph just said. Dedicate yourself from the beginning, and you won't have to fight as long. And trust me, man, hard work always pays off. Just do it the right way. Do it the right way. Don't dedicate yourself late in your career. Dedicate yourself early and throughout your career. That way you finish strong.
Yes.
Hey, unless you're like a heavyweights, they can develop later. And Deontay Wilder, he was working at like IHOP or something before he started at the age of 18. Anthony Joshua, he started in like his I'm not gonna say his early. Actually, I'm like
18.
he started
18.
18. He didn't even start the amateurs when he was 18. He started boxing. So yeah, if you're fighting in the lighter divisions, but you shouldn't really say that unless you're doing specific weight classes, bro.
Say
The
what?
guy with the profile with the black dude in it, with the keychain and stuff.
The key you're talking about, Phil. Shouldn't say
Yeah.
what? What shouldn't Phil say?
Like, you shouldn't say that for all fighters, because heavyweights, they develop later, bro.
I don't
Well,
think.
I'm talking about specifically the dedication. Even when Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, even with them starting as late as they did in their careers, at the end of the day, Anthony Joshua, in his case specifically, had to put the dedication and the hard work in to reach the paramounts that he's reached currently up until this point. So, with that being said, on to Deontay Wilder.
And if you start early, you might burn out. Like, for
No,
me,
but
when I started amateurs, when I was like not really amateurs, but going to the gym when I was 10, I burned out a little and I stopped going, but now I'm going again.
Well, yeah.
And Kenny Porter, how is it not the money and it's the discipline? Because in the first fight, Andy Ruiz, he wasn't like rich or anything, so he came disciplined and shape and all. And then when he has the money and everything, he doesn't come in shape. Yeah, it's the discipline, but it's mixed with the money, and it's more about the money.
No, it's not the money. It's the discipline.
No,
it's the
discipline.
Not really. Not.
That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the discipline. We're not talking about so much the ages. I just gave an age range. It's not about the age. It's the discipline.
Yeah,
and
it's about the dedication.
It's the disciplining yourself when you're in it. So when you're in it, you give it your all, knowing that in the knowledge that when you finish, when you're retired, you can relax. It doesn't matter what level you reach.
Hell yeah.
You reached the best. You did the best that you could do. You know what I'm saying? You did the best that you could do, and you know that because you applied discipline. You applied discipline to the craft. So they have a saying, I think they have a saying in music as well. It's 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. People think that if you're talented, some people make a mistake of thinking that because you're talented, you can just ride. You can just You can just
Justin,
ride.
mute yourself, Justin.
Yeah, just mute yourself, Justin. You can just ride on the talent, you know. But no, the talent, that's just one element. The key element is the application. Okay. And with that said, let me just get through a few of these comments here. So he couldn't recognize his pants getting yeah, your pants would get tighter.
Ruiz wasn't as fat in the first fight.
Ruiz wasn't as fat in the first fight, but listen, check it out. Ruiz was coming from.
He was fat in both fights. He was fat in both fights, really. Though.
Yeah, Ruiz was coming. You see, the thing about this, though, I want to address that thing. The thing about this is.
Hold on. I have a joke to make real quick.
No.
It's like, but you know who? Hold on. You know who Butterbean is? Butterbean would be like, he said he's fat. Hold my peanut butter.
Okay.
Like the comment section jokes.
Yeah.
Then Butterbean is like.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So, as I was saying, one of the reasons Ruiz came in good shape in the first fight was because he just come off a previous fight. And so he just come off his previous fight, so he's in shape. Didn't have time to get out of shape, went straight into the next fight. That was the first Joshua fight. But you know, when you think about it, you have to wonder if Ruiz had 6 months, Phil Walker, if Ruiz had 6 months to train for the first Joshua fight, do you think he would have come in as good a shape for him as he did in the fight as it happened? Because what I'm saying to you is this. Ruiz has shown us what he's like when he's got 6 months to prepare for a fight.
Yeah, you know, but look, I'll tell you this. Let me say this right here. Do I think? Let me tell you. All right. So I got two different answers to that, Ralph.
Yeah.
The first answer is this right here. If Andy Ruiz had 6 months to prepare for Anthony Joshua, just the first fight as he did the second fight, do I think he would have came in shape? You know, I actually think he would have probably dedicated himself a little more than he did this previous time. Because he would have realized that, hey, this is my shot. This may be the only shot I get. So I think he probably would have buckled down and he would have been in somewhat of better shape than he was for the second fight. Now, my second answer to that is this right here. If Anthony Joshua would have had 6 months to prepare for Ruiz, it wouldn't have been the second fight. So, you know, I mean, I'm just being honest. You understand what I'm saying?
That's a good point. That's a good point.
You know, but you know,
that it really is a really good point. Because heck, the weight class, the opponent changed, bro. Anthony Joshua preparing for Jarrell Miller. Then he gets put in with this Andy Ruiz guy who, listen, I saw Andy Ruiz's fight before the first Anthony Joshua fight because I'm a hardcore fan of boxing. I'm not a casual that had never heard of this guy, but did I think he was going to beat Joshua? No. Joshua, he hadn't looked at any of this tape of this guy. He just looked at him as a fat guy that he would get him out of there in 3. And then when it's talking about the pre-fight, actually everybody is kind of talking about what happened, like how Anthony Joshua wasn't really feeling right. If Anthony Joshua had prepared right, looked at the film tapes of his fights, and I studied these fighters, I could have beaten them.
Okay. So
just know.
So on a momento. Okay, right. So I think we chopped that up, but we got to get to, what time is it now? Okay. We got to get to the last topic on the topic list. Let me see where it is. I got too many windows open. Too many windows. Oh, we got it. No, that can be another time. This is the main topic and we need to get into it. Okay. Let me pick the right one. Right. Yeah, mute yourself, Justin, please.
Oh, you hear my button smashing skills? Okay.
Frank Warren, I think Tyson will. Okay, well, there's so many different angles. I mean, I don't know where to start, so let's just get into it anyway. So it's now official. We haven't talked about it before, made a video, but haven't talked about it live on the show. It's now official that Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 2 will take place
February.
on the 22nd of February, LA. Is it the MGM? I think it's the NGM in LA. So we know that's going down. We know that is going down. It's decided. There's been a lot of talk that Fury wouldn't be ready. I felt he would be ready. He gave a very clear statement. The surgeon,
Can I speak
told him.
my thoughts on this?
No, I haven't finished yet.
Okay.
I haven't finished yet. So the surgeon gave Tyson Fury the recovery time, and he said that he knows when he can start training based on the recovery. The recovery of the eye is fine. The cut is healing fine. Everything's on course. So I did believe that he would be ready for February the 22nd. And now it's come to pass that he is ready. The fight is going down. It's on. Contracts signed, date set. Phil Walker. Phil Walker, are you there?
So I need to unmute myself. My bad.
Okay.
I'm talking and I was on mute. No, but yeah, hey, look, let me tell you something. This is becoming I think it was a lot of strategy in actually announcing the fight. As far as when they announced the fight, they did it close to college football bowl week because they knew here in the States it would be, of course, millions of eyeballs on that commercial, that promotion, and whatnot. You understand? So I think that was probably a strategy in doing so. But I bring this point up. Even with the Ortiz fight, they waited for like a month before they announced the fight and made it official as well. So I don't know. Maybe this is just something that PBC does to cut back on promotion, right? So you want to save money where you can, especially when you got to pay these guys the amount of money that you're going to pay them for these particular fights. So at the end of the day, I'm happy the fight's being made. Tyson Fury, absolutely, says he's ready to go, and I believe him. So just like he said he was ready to go the last fight, when a lot of people thought that he wasn't, I was one of the few people that said, let me tell you something, you can never count the king out because he's just that kind of fighter. So, hey, look, if Tyson Fury says he's ready, he's ready.
He's not the king.
Justin, wait until Phil's finished, yeah?
He's not the king of the United Kingdom. And we have presidents in the United States.
Justin, just wait until the person's finished talking before you start talking, please.
Yeah, like I was saying,
if Tyson Fury says he's ready, you say he's
ready.
Yeah.
If Tyson Fury says he's ready, then he's ready to go. My only concern right now at this very moment is, and I don't know how true this is, and it's just rumored to say that Tyson Fury is back gaining weight, not taking care of himself the way he should. I don't know if he went to a mode of depression after the Otto Wallen fight when he didn't perform up to his expectation. But I pray that that's not true because
who says he's not taking care of himself?
I read an article. I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you, Ralph.
Okay. What was the source? A lot of sources are not valuable.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna send it.
Did you check the source?
Yeah, you don't have to send it now. You don't have to send it now. Just send it to me later.
I got you.
What source was it, Phil?
I'm a reporter. Justin, what are you saying?
Yeah, so I just finished my match. I lost.
Okay.
E_Gonzalez AA. If you guys run into him in UFC 3, beat him. But I don't listen. Fury, he changed his trainer. I'm not gonna go over if it's a good or bad thing because we We went over that on a couple weeks ago. But listen, this, like, it could go either ways. As you know, Tyson Fury, he's like, let me fight Stipe Miocic in the UFC. If you guys don't know, he's the UFC Heavyweight Championship. And he's also partaking in the little WWE action. And he also switched his trainer, so that could be a little bad, you know. He doesn't know how the trainer will be, but it can also be good, you know. He switches his trainer, and guys, his trainer, Tyson didn't have a good performance the first fight. So also, as we know, start of 2018, Fury makes his comeback. End of that 2018, he's fighting for a championship. So he could be more fresh with his new trainer. He can be better. And who knows, maybe even this UFC and stupid WWE stuff can somehow be helping him, you know? Like, if he's training in the WWE, maybe he can lock Wilder up in a little clinch or something. And I still think I think he's going to be winning the fight until he gets hit with a right hand and gets knocked out cold and then goes into utter depression before suiciding. But that's my thoughts on it.
That's your thoughts on it. What's your thoughts in a nutshell? What's your thoughts in a nutshell?
In a nutshell?
Yeah, in a sentence.
What do you mean, if he'll be ready in time?
No. What are your thoughts if you could summarize it in a sentence?
I mean, I really just did it, but this can be good or bad. But if it's good, I think Tyson Fury is going to be outboxing Wilder until he gets knocked out cold.
Okay.
And then goes into depression.
Okay. So Tyson Fury versus Wilder. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's very, very hard pick. I really hope Fury wins this fight, man. It's a very hard pick.
And I'm from America.
Yeah, it's a very hard pick. I mean, clearly, Deontay Wilder has the knockout punch. It's pretty much dropped everybody's face. And clearly, I think it would be safe to say that Tyson Fury is the superior boxer. Now, there's a theory. You can say, well, the pure boxer beats the pure puncher most of the time, but that doesn't always work. You know, Mike Tyson might have something to say about that, but at least Mike Tyson was actually a boxer also. He could set up his combinations. He used the bob and weave.
Rear body shot, uppercut over the top.
With variety of shots he would employ. So he's a good boxer too. It was interesting. I saw a clip of Tyson Fury watching. I don't know if it was footage of the what's his name? The Cuban. What's the Cuban? Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz. I don't know if it was footage of the Deontay Wilder Luis Ortiz fight, but they were waiting to get on some TV show, and I think they were showing the fight, and Tyson Fury was watching, or it was an interview or relating to the fight, and Tyson Fury was watching, and he said, along with one of the guys from his entourage was sitting down watching it, and he said,
"What do you mean, boredom bully?"
He said, hold on. Don't talk over me, please, Justin. And Fury said, so he's prepared to lose every round, and then get the knockout. It's like a game to him. He's prepared to lose every round and then get the knockout. And it was like an interesting moment where Tyson Fury was sharing his inner thoughts. It was very, very interesting. It was very, very interesting. Yeah. Yard man in the building. Yard
Hey,
man.
what up?
Yes.
Yard.
How you doing?
What up? What up? What up? Merry Christmas to you all.
Merry Christmas to you, my friend. I hope you had. Okay, hold on a second, Justin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
Just
mute my mic.
no. Just say your Just say your outro. Just say your outro. Just say your name, your channel, and yeah.
Why? I'm not ready to leave yet.
I think it's time. I think it's time, my friend. I think it's
I'm
time.
gonna mute my mic, bro. This is not fair. I thought my mic was muted.
Okay, so that was Justin. Justin, you can come back another time, but the next time you come back, my friend, just comply. Comply. You gotta comply. We just comply next time, okay? Okay. There's only so much patience a man can have. Okay, so Yardman. Hope you had a good holiday season. And what are your takes? It is now official. Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. February 22nd, LA. It's official.
Yeah. As I said to you before the last time I called in,
yeah,
I think in my head, I think the fight is gonna play out just like the first fight. I think Tyson Fury is gonna outbox him, and Deontay Wilder is gonna catch him in the middle rounds.
Deontay Wilder is going to catch him in the middle round. It's the most likely sensible outcome.
I think he's gonna drop him. Tyson Fury is gonna get back up, and Deontay Wilder is gonna, release a flurry of punches, and then the ref is gonna stop it. That's what I think is gonna happen.
That's what I think is gonna happen. That's what easily could happen. But Tyson Fury is a slippery one.
Yes, he is.
He beat Klitschko against all the odds. Nobody was expecting that.
But the thing about it is that I don't think Tyson Fury is 100% focused on boxing. At this time, with him, parting ways with his coach, and him doing the WWE shit, and he's also talking about fighting in the UFC. Like, as I said before, like, you gotta be 100% focused in the game, right? Especially at the top of the food chain.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Phil Walker. Phil Walker, you muted.
Yeah, man. Look, let me tell you something. As far as what I think about the outcome of this fight, man, I got mixed emotions about this fight, just like I had about the first. I'm gonna be real, because I mean, at the end of the day, Wilder's game plan essentially is one that could drastically backfire on him at any given minute. No, I'm just being honest, because
right.
and I'm just keeping it real. When you in the style and the manner in which he does, okay, when you know that all it takes is one punch in order to end the fight, okay, then guess what? What if it's a situation where you did have that one punch against Fury, but guess what? He got back up, dude.
Yeah.
He got back up.
Yeah.
Got back up. You don't want to be in a situation like you just was in with Luis Ortiz, okay? When you lose 5, I'm being generous and I'm saying 5 rounds, but I really think it was 6. When you lose 6 rounds in a row, and then you lose in the 7th round as well, and then you finally land your punch. At that point, all the guy has to do is get up from that and win 1 or 2 more rounds after that. You lose, man.
Yeah.
You know, I just he's playing a game.
He's playing with fire.
He's playing with fire. Okay, he's playing with fire. Now, do I think Tyson Fury is going to outbox him most of the fight, as long as the fights last? Yeah, of course. Everybody outboxes Wilder. So, I hate when people reiterate that point. I mean, I hate when people bring that point up, but yeah, I mean, everybody outboxes Wilder. He's not a boxer. Everybody knows that, right?
Yeah.
So with that being said, do I think Deontay Wilder is going to be patient enough and stop Fury? I think he can. And I'm going to tell you one specific reason why, okay? His team, they have to formulate a strategy and a plan, and Deontay Wilder has to follow it to a T. Yeah. No looping punches, all straight punches. The only looping punches you need to throw is hooks to the body. That is all, okay? You throw your looping punches once you hurt the guy, okay? Everything else, you see, look, you have a pretty decent jab. You got a nice jab. And everybody knows your straight right down the pipe is deadly. Guess what? Don't aim for the head. Aim for the body. Aim for the chest. Because you can have good head movement, but that body don't move the same way. Okay? So if his team comes up with a good game plan, which hopefully they do, I think Deontay can get him out of there. But with that being said, Tyson Fury can box really well. He's an exceptional boxer, probably one of the best within the division. And again, Deontay will be playing with fire if he thinks that he's just going to go in there and fight the same way that he fought Luis Ortiz, which is somebody that you want to take into the later rounds because his endurance isn't all the way there. Tyson Fury will be in shape as well, no matter how he looks.
Yeah, so it comes down to the question again, Tyson Fury. Can Tyson Fury do it against the odds? He almost did it last time. But Deontay Wilder now is coming to a stage whereby he's getting comfortable with boxing. He's coming into that stage now where he's getting very, very comfortable with boxing. He's getting so comfortable with boxing that he kind of chilled. He kind of chilled against Luis Ortiz. He kind of just chilled. He says, yeah, I can see what's coming generally. Yeah, can just slip. And I call it a kind of Bruce Lee style. that Deontay Wilder is adopting, a kind of Bruce Lee-esque mentality. He's getting comfortable with his boxing. I keep on telling people he's getting better. I mean, I'm not his biggest fan. I don't like his resume. His resume is trash to me. Apart from a couple of fights. He's had 41 fights and 39 or just whatever. So his resume is trash to me, unfortunately. That's why I ain't no big fan of his. But I cannot deny that I see what he's doing. And you I have to rate what he's doing. Not necessarily how he does it, but I have to rate a certain part of his mentality, which we've seen exposed or shown in the second Ortiz fight very, very clearly. He's probably been on that track for a while now, but we saw it manifest itself very, very clearly in his last fight. His mindset now is to slip what you're doing for round after round after round after round, if necessary, in the knowledge, in the full belief that he can if he just levels you up in the sights. He's like a deer hunter now. He's just looking to level you up in the sights and then gently caress the trigger. Not even squeeze it, just gently caress it. He's got so much confidence in his KO ability, and why wouldn't you? If you've been in with 41, 42 guys, and the 41 out of the 42 dropped, then wouldn't you be confident? You'd be supremely confident, and he's supremely confident in that KO power. But here's the thing. Here's the rub. Here's the flip side of that. If he goes in there thinking that all it's going to take is the perfect shot, what happens when he doesn't get the perfect shot? What happens when Deontay Wilder, with his mindset of getting the perfect shot, doesn't get the perfect shot? And that's how Tyson Fury can beat Deontay Wilder. He can outbox him while Wilder's waiting for the perfect shot. And then come the 12th round, he thinks it's okay, I got the perfect shot, and he doesn't manage to get the perfect shot. And the end of the bell for the 12th round, the end of the 12th round rings. What happens then? What happens then? That is when, and it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Wilder loses. Yard man, come in.
It's definitely going to happen, but I don't think it's gonna be in the Fury fight because, for one, I don't think Fury is disciplined. He's being disciplined going into this fight. You know, so I think at the moment Deontay Wilder is a more, disciplined boxer, and I think he wants it more. You know what I'm saying? I think he wants it a little bit more than Fury.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was AJ, if AJ had lost to Wilder,
yeah,
and I would definitely pick AJ in a rematch. You know, knowing how disciplined he is and what he did against Andy Ruiz. But with Fury is just all over the place, man. Like, I'm not gonna put my money on Tyson Fury. Not for that fight.
Fury is all over the place. You think Fury's all over the place when he knows he's going in with probably the biggest one-punch killer in the division? You don't think that's going to focus him?
I don't know, man, but the interviews that I've seen and the little clips.
You dropped out there. Yard man, you dropped out.
Interviews that I've the videos that I've, are you hearing me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Yeah, the videos that I've seen on YouTube and on Facebook, I don't think he's 100% focused on the boxing game, and I think it's the man who is gonna want it more on the night. He's gonna win that fight. As I said, I think I could be wrong, right?
You seriously think, Yardman, you seriously think that Tyson Fury going in there against a known killer, a known killer, you think Tyson Fury is not you're going in against a known killer and you're not focused?
His head is not 100% in the game. That's what I think. I could be wrong.
No, bro, I'm putting it to you. I'm asking you to put yourself in his shoes. You're going in against a man who, it's only when you started knocking on the coffin that people realize you were alive. They were about to throw the dirt on Tyson Fury when he got dropped in the 12th round. They were ready to throw the dirt on the coffin. And then the man knocked the coffin and said, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I'm alive. I'm alive. It's the big Gypsy King. I'm alive. Put the shovel down. You're going in there with a known killer. You don't have to like Wilder. I'm not very fond of him because of his resume, but there is no denying the guy is a killer. And you're telling me, Yardman, you're telling me that you think Tyson Fury going in against someone he knows is a killer, he has personal experience of he almost got killed by him, is going in against a man who almost killed him, and you're telling me you don't think Fury is focused on the task ahead?
I think Fury believes he's so much better than Wilder. If you listen to his interviews, he compares himself to Muhammad Ali. He says he's the best heavyweight of this era, and nobody knows boxing like him, which might be true. But Wilder believes in his right hand. I'm not a big fan of Wilder.
Yeah, I know.
I don't like how he carry himself. As a man.
Yeah.
I don't know him personally, but from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Right. But when it comes down to like breaking down fights, I try to say it as I see it. I don't think Fury is 100% into this boxing thing. He even talks about retiring in the next 3 fights.
Yeah, don't you think that's more mind games for his opponents? Don't you think that's mind games he's playing with his opponents? He did it beautifully against Klitschko. He did it beautifully. He was all over the place mentally. The same thing you're saying now. I put it to you, Yardman, that the same things you're saying now could have applied. Many of the things you're saying now could have applied to Fury. You could have said about Fury prior to the Klitschko fight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I just don't think he's 100% into it.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Fury could go out there and blow him out the water, right? But in my mind, I don't think he's 100% into it.
Okay. Phil Walker. Mind games. Tyson Fury and mind games.
Let me tell you something, man. Hey, look. I'm gonna tell you something. Tyson Fury may be crazy, but he's no fool. Now, what I mean by when I say that is this right here. He's just crazy. He's a personality.
Yeah.
But when I say he's not a fool, Tyson Fury is not going to get in that ring and not be focused against Deontay Wilder. He was so close to becoming the new WBC world champion. Okay. And one moment of relaxation, being undisciplined, blew that for him. Okay. Now, with that being said, okay, it's going to be a very long uphill battle going into a fight with Deontay Wilder if you plan on going 12 rounds. You have to be extremely disciplined in order not to get hit with that right hand at some point in time. Okay? You seen he got hit twice with it the last fight. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, Tyson Fury is going to go into that fight focused. Tyson Fury is going to go into that fight with the game plan. But with that being said, hey, I think it's just smoke and mirrors. Tyson Fury, he's just that kind of character. He wants to bring attention to himself so we can discuss his focus like we're doing now. And the people can come in and they say, well, hey, he did this even with the lack of focus and all this other kind of stuff. No, Tyson Fury, you don't fight as long as he's been fighting and not have some kind of focus when you're going into the ring with a very dangerous opponent. So I think he will be focused. But I don't know if that focus is going to be enough because, as Ref mentioned, Deontay Wilder is becoming a better boxer. He's becoming more patient, and you can visually see him in the ring following game plans that his team has laid out for him. And that's a sign of growth within the fighter. I don't know if Tyson Fury is growing. I see Deontay Wilder is. So at the end of the day, Tyson Fury is going to be focused, but I don't know if it's going to be enough.
And my thoughts on that is that I think the new game plan, Tyson Fury, we're not going to talk about it this show because I like to keep them short and sweet. So we're not going to talk about it this show, but for sure we're going to touch on it next show on Wednesday. But I will say this. Deontay Wilder waiting. Oh, somebody asked me a question, which I want to address. What was it? Getting better how? How is Wilder getting better? Wilder taking 7 rounds to throw a punch is not him getting better. And okay, That's a fair comment. I'd like to address that. Okay, so what I'm saying is that Wilder now is getting to a stage where he's just in sniper mode. He's just in sniper mode. Touch like Hearns. What's Hearns? Tommy.
He's not wild anymore. He's not wild either anymore.
Yeah, Tommy Hearns.
It's more precise.
That's what I'm saying. He's getting sniper mode like Tommy Hearns at his best. Tommy Hearns at his best, getting in sniper mode, but even throwing less than Tommy Hearns because Tommy Hearns would throw. But yeah, that's what I see. That's what I see in Wilder. I know it sounds crazy. You think, what is Raf bigging up Wilder? No, I'm not bigging him up because there's a flip side to what he's doing. There's a good side and a bad side. The good side is the accuracy. The bad side is that I can see him getting out pointed en route to him looking for that perfect shot. And you can fall into patterns. You can fall into patterns in fighting, the habits in pace. You can fall into a habit, or not habit, that's the wrong word. You can fall into a tempo. That's the word I'm looking for. You can fall into a tempo in fights. And now with this new technique that I see, with this new calm that I see from Fury, I see the plus side and the negative side. The plus side is that he can keep his heart rate down somewhat. That will control the adrenaline release somewhat. So there's no adrenaline dump. You don't just go, wah, flailing out there and suffer an adrenaline dump, which leads to fatigue. So the benefit is keeping calm, controls the heart rate, controls the adrenaline release, increases cardiovascular performance. So you can go longer. That's a good thing. The bad thing is you fall into a tempo. You fall into that tempo. And when you're ready to go, when it's late, if the fight gets late in and you decide you want to change tempos, you know what? You could be stuck.
Yeah. And another way I look at it is this way. Like, I don't think there's a lot more Tyson Fury could do from what he did different in the first fight.
Exchange trainers.
Same strategy. I don't think he can do a lot more. Like, what is he gonna do?
I'll tell you what he's gonna do. He's changed trainers. He's gone back to the Kronk style. And what we know from that is a stiff jab and a whipping right cross. That's what I'm expecting from Tyson Fury. That's what I'm expecting from Tyson Fury sporadically. I'm not saying that he's going to go out there and just plant his feet. That would be crazy. That would be suicide. It's a suicide. No, that's not what
I don't think he's going to do that.
No. Nobody thinks he's going to do that. He ain't going to do that. But what I do see him doing, what I can see him doing is working behind a more authoritative jab. Still moving, but working behind a more authoritative jab. A jab with more authority behind it. A jab which commands more respect. So you can say the counter out, well, hasn't he got to plant his feet to do that? No, not really. That's just dependent. The only time you have to plant your feet is when you're moving. So you move and then you stop moving, bam. That's the jab, you're moving again. So what, you're planting your feet for a fraction of a second, bam. And you throw the punch as you're moving, bam. As you are moving. You don't stand there, set your feet, and then throw. No, you plan it so that as you move and as you set whichever foot it is that's moving, either the front foot or the back foot, that's your set. Bam, off that, moving again. Bam. Yeah? Left jab as you step forward, step back, because you keep continually moving. Set your back foot and then bam with the right cross. And then you're still moving. Bam, bam, combination, 2-punch combination, and keep moving. That's how I see it going down.
And another thing, Raphael, I think Wilder's gonna put on a couple more pounds.
Yeah. You mentioned that before. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good
I
point.
think he's gonna put on a couple more pounds. See, what did he weigh in the Brazil fight? 125.
Yeah, it was something in the one. He's 120 something, I think.
220.
220.
Sorry,
Yeah, sorry.
220.
Hey, look,
Yeah.
hey, man, look at that boy get that 120, man. Look at this.
120. Oh my gosh! Yeah, put on a
in that case, it would be Wilder versus Inoue for undisputed.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
So finish up what you're saying, Yardman. Then we're gonna go to well, you have your final words, Yardman. Can we come to the end of the show now? So have your final words.
Yeah,
Yep.
as I said, I could be wrong, but in
Yep.
my mind, I'm thinking like there isn't much Fury's gonna do different. I think Wilder's gonna be a little bit more patient. I think he's gonna be losing the fight, and I do think he's gonna drop Fury. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I do think he's gonna win that fight. And going forward, I don't think he's gonna fight Dillian White or AJ. Something is gonna come up, but we just have to wait and see.
So you think Wilder's gonna win, and he's not gonna fight Dillian White or AJ?
No, something's gonna come up.
Okay.
Something's gonna come up.
Yeah. Well, I can entirely see that. I don't expect. In fact, after Phil has given his final words, I've got one last question. So, Phil, thank you, Yardman. Was those your final words? Are those
that was my final word.
Okay, and over to Phil Walker. Your final words, Phil Walker.
Okay, my final words is congratulations to Mr. Pascal. Congratulations to Davis on his win, although I think he could be a much better fighter than what he displayed against Gamboa. 2020, we got a lot to look forward to. Hopefully somebody gives us undisputed, right? Somebody that we hopefully somebody does. Will it happen? It's probably about a 25% chance it will. So, with that being said, man, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, it's going to be a very interesting fight. I think Fury could have success within the fight if he makes Deontay fights him at mid-range and then gets out of range. In the last fight, that's when he had most of his success. The problem is going into that danger zone is exactly what it is. It's a danger zone. With that being said, hey, look, Deontay Wilder is going to beat Tyson Fury. I believe that's probably going to happen. Okay. Then after he beats Tyson Fury, I pray. After he beats Tyson Fury, I pray that we get Dillian White in the States so I can go see him fight because I'm a big fan of him. And that'll be awesome. Will that happen? Probably not. I'm thinking they probably going to set it up to where Deontay Wilder's probably going to fight Andy Ruiz just to kind of build on the AJ fight a little bit more. So we'll see, man. We'll see. That's my final thoughts on it. But I hope we can get Dillian White, and then after Dillian White, we get AJ. Then we can conquer the whole UK, baby. We on the bigger things.
So you think that Anthony Joshua is going to want to fight Deontay Wilder after Dillian White beats him? Can't hear you, Phil. I can see you're talking, but we can't hear a word.
Hey, look, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not gonna happen, Robin. Hey, that's not gonna happen, baby. Hey, we're gonna take this fight to Dillian White. Let me tell you something. I hope y'all down there telling Dillian White he needs to get in the best shape possible so he can get that down here in the States. We want him in the States. Dillian White come to the States. You heard it from Phil Walker on Combat Radio. Come to the States.
Okay, something's wrong with your mic. So you both answered the one question I was going to ask you at the end. I don't know if you really answered it. Yardman, do you see Deontay Wilder fighting Dillian White or Anthony Joshua in the next 12 months? Yardman.
As I said, in regards to Dillian White, I think something is gonna come up on Wilder's side. I think he's gonna duck that fight. The reason why I think he's gonna fight AJ is because that's the money fight when it's all said and done.
Do you see Deontay Wilder fighting AJ in the next 12 months?
No, not in the next 12 months.
Okay.
No.
And the final question to Phil Walker. I don't know if you fixed your mic, but do you see?
I'm back, baby. I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah. Do you see Deontay Wilder fighting Anthony Joshua within the next 12 months? Because they can make it happen. Undisputed with Trump, certainly Trump mandatory, or they could step aside. It could happen. Do you think Deontay Wilder will fight Anthony Joshua in the next 12 months?
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna shock everybody with this answer.
Okay.
No, I don't. I'm just kidding, man. Everybody knows that fight's not gonna happen, man. Hey, let me tell you something. I'll be real with you. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. I think now, and this is just what my feeling is. I think Deontay Wilder wants to fight AJ, of course, right?
Yeah.
But I feel as though at this point in time, it's a sense of urgency on the other side of the pond to make it happen sooner rather than later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think both those guys want to fight. But I think, like I said, it's the urgency on the other side of the pond for whatever reason. I have no idea, but we'll see, man. But I don't think that fight's going to happen. If anything, it'll happen early 2021, and that's unfortunate for us fans.
Yeah. Yes. And so you heard it here. I don't think it's going to happen in the next 12 months. It can happen. I'm sure Joshua can do one mandatory early in the year, do another mandatory the halfway mark, and Deontay Wilder will face the winner of Wilder Fury at the end of 2020. But I think out of the three of them, Joshua wants it more. For whatever reason, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury put the stumbling block 50%, 50-50 split stumbling block in the way. That's not how it used to be. This is something new to the game that I don't understand. It's always been understood that when you fight the champ, you take a smaller cut and you're satisfied with that because you know or you believe you can beat him, and then you'll be eating the lion's share. But all of a sudden, Deontay Wilder come and change the game, but Tyson Fury is in the same pea, is a different pea in the same pot, saying the same damn thing. They come with this game-changing mentality, which is not good for the game, just holding the game up, talking about they deserve this, they deserve that, 50-50. No, that's not what we know. What we know is that you accept the smaller cut when you go up against the champ. And if the argument saying, well, Deontay Wilder's a champ as well, he's a one-belt champ, going up against a unified champ. So he's still going up against a superior ranking operator. Not to forget about the economic value, Joshua's superior economic value. Forget about that. We're just talking about in terms of belts. It's unified against the one belt holder. That would be automatically, I'm going to take the smaller share, but I know when I beat him, I'm going to be king and I'll take the lion's share then. But no, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, they've come with this game-changing philosophy. I just deserve 50%. Why? Because I'm a lineal champ. The other guy says, why? Because I'm a WBC champ. Yeah, you're one belt holder. Or a one imaginary belt holder. Going up against a unified champ.
And he isn't a draw either. That's the biggest thing. Like
not as big an economic commodity. But I'm without even touching that. You're a one belt holder or a one imaginary belt holder, whatever you want to call it, going up against a unified champ.
You know what? I don't think the belt matters in terms of how the persons should be split.
But
Put
you were
it this
talking,
way: if Floyd Mayweather should come back and say he fights Errol Spence, who currently
yeah,
has 2 belts,
yeah.
going into that fight,
Mm.
who do you think is gonna be the A side?
It's going to be the bigger economic power, and that is Mayweather.
And that's exactly what I said. The belts has nothing to do with it. It's all about
Yeah, the
your
economic.
ability to
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Your
Yeah.
economic power. Phil Walker. You want to come in quickly on that?
Yeah, no, I agree with you, Ralphie, on that. The bigger economic power is always going to trump belts or
Yeah,
imaginary belts or any of that other kind of stuff, man. So, I mean, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, both guys are going to get massive paydays, right?
yeah,
Who
yeah.
cares if who's the A side or the B side? You know,
Right, right. Just
I'm more about.
take the money, man. Take the money. It's a lot of money. It's life-changing money. It's generational wealth. Isn't that what you asked for? You asked for generational wealth, and you've got generational wealth. Take the damn fight.
Yep, these guys are stupid, man. You remember when Floyd Mayweather did the interview and he said going into the Oscar De La Hoya fight, he was the B side, but then he went in and beat the A side and became the A side, and he has been the A side.
Just real quick to Christiana Wu, she said that Wilder agreed to take the 15. He or she, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl.
Yeah.
Said that Wilder agreed to take the 15 million. Yeah, he did agree to take the 15 million. You're absolutely right. But at that point in time, AJ, Eddie, and Matchroom had moved on to already establish a fight with the mandatory, and they didn't want to. I guess they felt they had outweighed their options in making that fight happen. But Wilder did agree to it, absolutely. But at that time, it had already been talks for the mandatory. So
Indeed. I think we've chopped it up nicely. One of the features of this thing when you're doing this thing, it's kind of crazy. Talking about my personal experience now, it's kind of crazy because you come on this thing, you've got your topic sheet, you got your loose, you got your topics, your topics not necessarily in which generally you have an order in which they will come, and you really don't know who's going to tune in. You really don't know who's going to tune in, and you start this thing and you think to yourself, well, damn. I remember the quote from Derek Chisora where he says his biggest fear, not losing, not getting knocked out. It's none of that. It's like he's preparing for a fight and turning up to a fight and nobody comes. Nobody comes. You look around in the seats, the auditorium, it's empty. The cameras are there, the lights are on, but nobody comes. And from my personal perspective, it's like sometimes, like today, there was like around 7 people in the thing, 7 people waiting, watching. Nobody was typing. Nobody was saying nothing. Nobody was saying nothing for a first 10, 15 minutes, and it felt really weird. I felt like I was in Derek Chisora's nightmare. The lights were on, the cameras were on, but nobody came. All you had was a few guys in the back. And it's kind of weird thing. It's kind of interesting. It's fascinating. It's a little bit, it's fascinating because you never know what's going to happen. There's always that thing in your mind that no one is going to come. But you know what? The thing is, you do it anyway because it's what you want to do. So you press on and you do the thing, and next thing you know, there are people in the building. So I consider myself very privileged to be doing what I want to do and to have people come and join the chat. People come kind enough to take time out of their day to jump on the panel and express themselves. And then we have this. Then we have a show. But it don't matter. You press on anyway. You press on anyway. You get your topic sheet done. You set your 2.5 hours to one side, and the show goes on. It's fascinating. I love it. It's fascinating. But yeah, people have opinions. I have opinions. Yardman has an opinion. Phil has an opinion. And you guys have an opinion. And if you want to jump on, you know, I always drop the link in the chat. So if you're passionate about this thing and you want to talk about it, then you're in the right place. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the Phil Walker. It's the Yardman. It's the Boardroom Bully. It's the Christiana Wu. It's the Lisa Bayliss. It is. We're scrolling up. It's the Shiz Biz. It's the Tanarus Robinson from over there in Mississippi, way down south. And who else we got? I'm scrolling up. It's the Big Boys Boxing. It's the Kenny Porter. It's the real Kenny Porter. If you have not seen that video, my Kenny Porter video, the slap heard all around the LDBC, I strongly suggest you go check it out. It's at rave reviews. It's the Ross Clark. It's the Junior. It is. Who else we got? Yes. And I think that's the whole cast of characters for tonight. The Ped was in here earlier on. Justin was in here earlier on. It's the Phil Walker. It's the Yardman. It's the Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. It's the like. It's the subscribe. It's the comment. It's the shares. And it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. It's Boxing Talk with Rafi. Monday, Wednesday, and some Fridays, 10 p.m. UK time. Make the adjustment for your local area. Thanks for joining me and the crew. And the only thing I have left to say is see you on Wednesday. Blessed.
All right. Blessed, Rafi.
Bless up.